This is true wilderness construction at its finest. In sub-zero temperatures, the man builds a shelter against a massive boulder. Despite howling winds outside, inside remains a warm, cozy haven. With mountain snow just melted, Groot can't stay idle at home any longer. He leads his energetic dogs back to familiar forests, planning to build shelter before the next snowfall blocks the mountain. Along the way, his keen-nosed dogs quickly discover a hidden opening beneath some rocks. Groot hurries forward, bending down to peer into the cave entrance. Inside, the cave is surprisingly spacious, dry, and level, better than expected. He decides to make this his home, first clearing away debris and dirt from the entrance. Swinging his shovel, he quickly clears a flat area of ground. Groot plans to use the cave interior as sleeping quarters, while the outside clearing will be a play area for his dogs. With everything planned out, he continues working with determination. After excavating, he stacks nearby stones into waist-high walls to block the mountain winds. As he works, snowflakes begin falling and the forest temperature drops rapidly. Fortunately, he works quickly. Walls built, fireplace location ready, just in time for use. He gathers dry sticks nearby, but having no lighter must shave wood chips and use flint to create sparks. Once the flame catches, he quickly feeds the collected firewood into his fireplace. Sitting beside the fire, Groot's tense body finally begins to relax. But now he couldn't rest yet. To keep the hard-earned warmth from escaping, he unfolded his tent, hammered steel nails into the surrounding rocks, and secured it above. This created a small, enclosed space where even the fiercest wind and snow couldn't penetrate. To prevent the tent from collapsing under snow, he placed a thick tree trunk along the wall's edge. He covered it with snow that would freeze into ice when melted, making the trunk and tent more secure. After finishing these tasks, Groot returned inside and shook the accumulated snow off the roof. Then his eyes fell on a tree trunk near the door, and he immediately grabbed his saw and got to work. In no time, he cut it into sections. This trunk, having been far from the ground, remained dry, perfect fuel for the fire. By now, the fire in the wall stove burned brighter, gradually raising the temperature inside. Groot called out to his dogs playing outside, then crawled in to rest himself. After some time passed, the snowfall outside had stopped, but the roof was covered with over 1/2 meter of snow. Though snow acts as natural insulation, this thickness was dangerous. One wrong move and the tent could collapse. Without delay, he grabbed his tools, climbed onto the roof, and began clearing it. Time passed quickly as he worked. As darkness fell, wanting a good night's sleep, he braved the snow again to search the nearby forest for elevated tree trunks to use as fuel for the stove. Returning with the heavy wood, watching the fire grow stronger, he finally felt at ease. Groot then took out an iron pot, filled it with clean snow and placed it over the coals to heat slowly. The melted snow water was perfectly pure, ideal for cooking the mutton. While the meat simmered in the pot, he laid out his bedding and let his tired dogs rest a while. Outside, snow continued falling with goose feather-like flakes dancing in the sky. Inside, however, the fire made it warm and cozy, a completely different world. When the meat was tender and flavorful, Groot wanted to cool it quickly. He took the pot outside and buried the meat in the thick snow. He whistled toward the shelter and the dogs immediately came out wagging their tails, ready to enjoy their dinner. After the dogs ate, Groot broke off a branch, sharpened one end, and skewered the remaining meat pieces. Back inside, the fire had transformed into perfect red-hot coals, ideal for grilling. He placed the meat skewers over the hot coals where they sizzled deliciously. This would be his dinner. After eating his fill, night had completely enveloped the forest. Mindful of keeping the fire through the night, Groot gathered more firewood before returning inside, ending his productive day.